I'm Andrew Wall, and I'm here at the 2009 Canadian Business Leadership Forum. I'm joined now by Chris Anderson, who is editor of Wired magazine, as well as author of Free, which is the Future of a Radical Price, as well as best-selling book, The Long Tail. I wanted to I guess, start by, the title of your book calls Free radical. Free's been around a long time. How is Free radical?
Free's radical because people think that it couldn't be possible to build a business around free, and it's considered the antipathy of free. It's antipathy of business. It's like, it is the one price that seems impossible in the marketplace. It seems to suggest that no money is being made. And yet, paradoxically, some of the most profitable companies in the world, such as Google, are built around giving products and services to consumers for free. So it is counterintuitive, but counterintuitive is too long a word for recover.
How do you see, well, you discussed in the book about freemium as the model that is emerging as being so powerful. Is that something that is limited really only to the web, or is that something that can extend beyond?
It is primarily a web phenomenon. It derives from what economists call near zero marginal costs. So any business that has near zero marginal costs, the media business is one. Broadcasting has near zero marginal costs. It doesn't cost you any more if more people listen or watch. The web, creating a copy of song or content or something like that doesn't cost you anymore. So businesses that are built around near zero marginal costs can always use free. It's an option. Price becomes arbitrary in some sense. There are some other businesses that have similar characteristics. Usually they're ones with a high fraction of intellectual property versus raw materials. So pharmaceuticals are example. Pharmaceuticals are all about the R&D cost, and then actually printing pills is trivial. And there's the reason why pharmaceutical salesmen go around with suitcases full of drugs they give away for free, and every time you go to the doctor you get free drugs, because they can't be free, because the actual cost of that pill is almost nothing. The whole point is to get spread out over enough people that you pay back the R&D costs.
The notion of free, I work in the media industry, and the notion of people being able to get media content for free, while in some cases it's been there, is also very scary for many businesses, and they're trying to wrap their heads around how to deal with it. Perhaps in the context of the media business, how do you see freemium playing out in the media business specifically?
Yeah. It's the media business is going through a sort of a confusing time, I think is a generous way to put it, where the existing business model is crumbling, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. The new business models are not yet emerged. We're quote unquote trading analog dollars for digital pennies, et cetera, and jobs are being lost. There is a lot of confusion over free there. People think that that free is the enemy, that there was this genie that got out of the bottle, and if we could only put the genie back in the bottle, all would be well, that some decision was made 10 years ago that we only reverse time. Of course, nothing of the sort. The problem for media is not free, it's competition. That you and I, the winners of the 20th century media model, who owned the tools of production, the bought ink by the barrel, the factories, the trucks, the newsstand, that we now suddenly are competing on a platform that anybody has access to: blogs, Facebooks, Twitters, tweets, and et cetera. So whenever you have competition, prices fall. And in this case, because lots of people are willing to create content for free for non-monetary reasons, reputation, attention, expression. That's the price. That consumers will go where the price is the lowest. So free is a given. There is no decision that we can make that's going to change it. The question is, what are we going to do about it? The first model was, well, advertising worked last time, it'll work this time. Well, it turns out that the rate you can get for advertising in a medium with infinite capacity, with infinite inventory, if you will, is lower. So it's hard to replace those lost print revenues with online revenues. And so we're going to have to move past advertising. So a few publications, such as the Wall Street Journal and the Financial Times, have been very good at adopting freemium. And again, so the last confusion about free in media is that it's free versus paid. 100% free versus 100% paid. Put up the paywall, lock them out. Nobody in the right mind unless they're really niche trade publications, is considering 100% paid. Instead, it's free versus freemium, 100% free versus 90% free, or 80% free. And that's largely what newspapers like the Financial Times and the Wall Street Journal are doing, is that they say, look, the most popular content on the front page, if you come via Google, that's all free, advertising supported. As you dig in, as you spend more time on the site, as you get to the more niche content, at this point, you know what you want. We're probably the best source for you, commodities trading, whatever. At this point, price probably matters less to you than the quality of the information, and you might be ready to pay.
For businesses outside of media, when they're trying to sort of consider whether or not some kind of freemium model maybe makes sense, what's the sort of question that they need to be asking themselves? What segment do they need to make their money from? Right.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, if they're offering digital goods and services, they absolutely should be using a free or freemium service. And let's just say ideally freemium. Freemium is, I think, a scalable, sustainable business model. It's not based entirely on advertising floating all boats. It's you come up with your own model, and whether it's an iPhone app with a free and a paid version, whether it's a website, whether it's a game with free and subscriber, everybody needs one. And so, what do you need for a freemium service? Well, first of all, let's assume it's digital. You need at least two products, right? You need the free version and the paid version. And what's the difference between the two? You need to answer that question. Is it going to be that the free version is going to have fewer features? Is it going to have less capacity? Are you going to be limited to how many users? Is one going to have advertising, the other not have advertising? Maybe big companies will use the paid version, and small companies will use the free version. You need to figure out. And maybe that's two versions, and maybe you want more. Maybe you'll have the free, the $9.95, the $19.95, the $99.95, these different tiers. And so it's a little harder in that you have to create more versions of the products, or at least think harder about your market segmentation, but it's absolutely essential to build a model that uses free for what it's best at, which is marketing, awareness, exposing your product to the most number of people in a way that they can actually use and get some utility out of it, and then converting 5%, would be a good number, 5 to 10% of them into paying users. If you can get that model right, you're good.